Good morning, everyone, and greetings. My name is Craig Hall. I'm with the U.S. Coast Guard. I'm a U.S. Coast Guard auxiliarist, and I'm providing an introduction this morning and have the privilege of introducing our speakers. Today marks the beginning of National Safe Boating Week, the week of May 21st through 27th, an awareness to all boaters to brush up on boating safety skills and prepare for the boating season. This Observance Week is an annual kickoff of the National Safe Boating Campaign, a global awareness effort that encourages boaters to make the most of their boating adventures by being responsible. The program will begin with remarks by Sector Commander Captain Kaylee J. Benson for the United States Coast Guard. It will follow by Chief Warrant Officer and Commanding Officer Justin Young of Station Scituate and Station Port Allen. Then elected officials, and then a reading of the Governor's Proclamation by Scituate Select Board Chair Karen Connolly, then by Matthias Mulvey for the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, and then State Representative Joe Machino for closing. Okay, before we begin, it should be noted that Station Scituate was also the host for Massachusetts National Safe Boating Week kickoff in 2017. Similar to 2017, the theme this year is We Are Community. If you notice, our speakers are wearing more formal uniforms given the prominence of the event. However, you may notice that I and most of the auxiliaries here are wearing our operational dress uniform, or working uniform, because we are lifelong residents of the community. We live, work, educate our children, and raise our families in the communities protected by the U.S. Coast Guard. We are wearing the working uniform as a symbol that we are always here to support our communities and the U.S. Coast Guard. We will begin with remarks by Sector Commander Kaylee J. Benson of the U.S. Coast Guard. Let me provide you with a short bio. Captain Benson oversees all Coast Guard missions from the Massachusetts-New Hampshire state border south to Manomet Point, Plymouth, Massachusetts, and extending 200 nautical miles offshore. She is designated as Captain of the Port, Federal On-Scene Coordinator, Officer in charge of Marine Inspections, Federal Maritime Security Coordinator, and Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator. Captain Benson commands 1,500 active duty, reserve, civilian, and auxiliary personnel, and employs 3 cutters and 22 boats across 5 multi-mission stations and an aids to navigation team. Captain Benson.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me through my allergy voice? Great. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, distinguished guests. I am Captain Kaylee Benson. I'm the captain of the port, and I am so thrilled to be here for this event today in order to kick off National Safe Boating Week to mark the beginning of recreational boating season here in Massachusetts and celebrate the strong partnerships between our federal, state, municipal, and tribal partners who are committed to the principles of safe and secure boating on all of our waterways. The relationship between the Coast Guard and the town of Scituate goes back many decades, which we're very proud of that. In fact, our relationship goes all the way back to 1937 when the original station was opened, and the town has supported and defended their station valiantly since then, and for that I am truly grateful. We are better together. Our search and rescue posture here on the South Shore would not be so strong were it not for the combined efforts and commitment on the part of the town managers and officials, harbor masters, police, fire, state police, marine environmental police, Coast Guard auxiliary, our commercial salvage and towing partners, and many, many others. As we approach Memorial Day and experience days like what today was promised to be but hasn't quite shown up yet, with reportedly tropical air temperatures, maybe later today, because not right now, and with colleges and schools soon letting out for the season, it is so exciting to get back on the waterway to enjoy this extraordinary ocean playground that we have right here on our doorstep, although we can't see it through the fog. As your captain of the port, though, I want to take this opportunity to convey a couple of safety reminders. 1, plan your boating trip not only based on air temperature and atmospheric conditions. Don't forget to pay attention to the water temperature, too. Today's air temperature is supposed to be climbing into the 80s, but the water temperature is not far off of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is cold for the human body. So keep that in mind. 2, if you have a kayak, a dinghy, a paddleboard, or any other small vessel that is not required to be registered, please, please, please put your name on it, put your phone number on it. Annually, we spend many, many unnecessary hours and lots of resources conducting search and rescue operations for small craft found adrift and unmanned. Help us preserve those resources for true emergencies by doing your part by labeling your small craft and where possible, keep them from going adrift in the first place. That's even better. So thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today on this, I had written beautiful day, but I love fog, so I'm still going to go with that. With this beautiful Massachusetts port as our backdrop behind the fog. And thank you to the town of Scituate for their unrelenting support of the Coast Guard and your dedication to safe boating. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Benson. We've already introduced our next speaker. I did want to recognize Angel Montanez, who's in the front row here, who is the chairperson of the Massachusetts Bay Harbor Safety Committee. And they also have an event in Boston, June 16th, 17th, and 18th. The next speaker is Chief Warrant Officer and Commanding Officer Justin B. Young for Station Scituate, also Station Point Allerton. Chief Young assumed command of Station Point Allerton and Station Scituate July 1st, 2021. Mr. Young has served ashore at Booth Bay Harbor, Maine, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and at sea for almost 11 years on the Coast Guard's 420-foot polar icebreaker, United States Coast Guard cutter Healy, out of Seattle, Washington. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Metincus out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Abby Burgess, a buoy tender in Rockland, Maine, and is the commanding officer of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Sea Fox out of Silverdale, Washington. Chief Young.
Can't do that. I'm just going to hold this.
Just doing sound signals for Paul.
That's exactly it. I'm glad you brought that up. So I do want to point out it had been 10 years since I've been back to the Northeast prior to this tour, and I'm glad to see nothing has changed with the Northeast summers. So, good morning, Town of Scituate, Senator O'Connor, Representative Lenatra, Ms. Moschino, good to see you. Captain Benson, thank you for your time. It is an honor and a privilege to be a part of the celebration today. Greatly appreciate Captain Benson, the Boston Sector Commander, for taking the time out of a busy schedule to join us today. I'd like to specifically recognize Craig Hall of the Coast Guard Auxiliary for organizing this event and the number of hours that went into it. We're here today for several reasons. One is to thank the ongoing support from the town of Scituate, its unwavering loyalty to the Coast Guard and its personnel. Last year specifically was a difficult time due to the uncertainty of the future of Station Scituate, but seeing the local communities and Scituate in particular rally around the Coast Guard was certainly one of my proudest moments in my career. Station Scituate certainly couldn't conduct its vital missions without the ongoing support from this incredible town. Second is to recognize the incredible contributions of Coast Guard Auxiliary Division 12 in partnership with Station Point Allerton and Scituate. As a footnote in Coast Guard history, the Coast Guard Auxiliary was founded in 1941 when the military reserve was utilized to help enforce the 1940 Federal Boating and Espionage Acts. Times have certainly changed, but the auxiliary is performing equally vital missions. From radio watchstanding, looking out for the safety of the boating public on a daily basis, to critical vessel safety examinations, ensuring those who go out and will return safely with the vital equipment they carry. I greatly appreciate our partnership with the auxiliary and look forward to continuing it into the future. Final reason we're here today is to kick off National Safe Boating Week, running from 21st to the 27th of May. On an average day in the service, the Coast Guard conducts 109 search and rescue cases, saving 10 lives, assisting 109 search and rescue cases, or 192 people in distress, and saving over $2.5 million in property. We've certainly seen major SAR cases in our area, and now that summer is right around the corner, boating traffic has shown no signs of slowing down. I have 5 important items for the public to make National Safe Boating Week and the summer safe for everyone. First, and most importantly, is to wear a life jacket. According to the Coast Guard recreational boating statistics, There were over 4,000 boating accidents, 2,500 injuries, and 633 deaths on the water last year. 77% of those were due to drowning, and 84% were not wearing a life jacket. The importance of wearing a life jacket cannot be understated, and it can save lives. Another important part that Captain noted is following a float plan. Let a loved one, friends, or even the Coast Guard know your intentions, where you're departing from, where you're headed, and what time you're projected to return. We have seen situations that certainly could have been avoided with a float plan, and allows us to ensure the safety of the boating public and use our resources. Always practice safe alcohol consumption. The legal limit on the water for recreational boaters is the same as driving on the road. Consuming alcohol leads to impaired judgment and decision making and will be hazardous to you and others. Safe speed. Safe speed is defined as a speed where you can be stopped within a distance appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions like today. Utilize caution during periods of low light, darkness, and fog. Maintain safe speed so you can ensure the safety of yourself and others. Lastly, always ensure your vessel has the appropriate safety equipment on board. Coast Guard Auxiliary Division 12 does a fantastic job of conducting vessel safety examinations out of Station Scituate. By taking this initiative, you will ensure your vessel has what it needs in case of emergency and it is free to the public. Finally, enjoy the water this year. Be safe in your operations and utilize the subjects discussed so your trip will be enjoyable, safe, and memorable. If you're ever in doubt to the safety of you, your vessel, or someone else, we monitor Channel 16 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I look forward to a safe and successful boating season. Thank you for your time today and for joining me for the kickoff of National Safe Boating Week.
Thank you, Mr. Young. I'm going to go a little bit out of the order, and I'm going to ask if the Select Board Chair, Karen Connolly, can come up and read provide remarks and read the Governor's proclamation. And before she comes up, let me give it a little bio. Scituate Select Board Chair Karen Connolly. Ms. Connolly is known for decades of service for Scituate to her hometown. This includes not only her time in local government, but also her commitment to the schools. Ms. Connolly, would you please join me? And I guess maybe the Vice Chair is also here. I did see the Vice Chair, which is Karen Canfield. And since you were such an important part of this, maybe you could join the Select Board Chair as well.
Welcome, everyone. Before I read the proclamation, I want to say that the Coast Guard is so important to this town. Unfortunately, when you're down in the harbor and you look out, we all see the old Coast Guard station, and we all remember when it was active. And so when there was talk of shutting this station down, we were heartbroken, honestly. So you mean so much to us, and never, ever, ever doubt that when you need us, we will be there. We're not going to let them shut this station down, ever. So, with that, I will read the proclamation from the Governor. Whereas approximately 75% of boating-related accidents in the United States are fatalities caused by drowning, and whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment, and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. And whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets. And whereas today's life jackets are more comfortable and can save the lives of many if worn appropriately. Whereas safe boating begins with education and planning, learning and improving your boating skills, help create an enjoyable and safe boating experience. And whereas it is essential to follow safe boating practices for your own protection and the protection of those around you. And whereas by following basic boating safety procedures, we can prevent the vast majority of boating fatalities and help ensure boaters stay safe throughout the season. Now therefore I, Charles D. Baker, obviously not me, Governor of the Commonwealth, do hereby proclaim May 21st to 27th, 2022 to be National Safe Boating Week, and urge all the citizens of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance. Given at the Executive Chamber in Boston this first day of May in the year 2022, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 245th. By His Excellency Charles D. Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth, Karen E. Polito, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, William Francis Galvin, Secretary of the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Conley, and thank you, Ms. Canfield, for that. Again, I'm going to take this a little bit out of order. I'm going to have Matt Mulvey close the day, but before I do, we have State Representative Joe Machino and State Representative Patrick Kearney, who are both here. And I know they took so much time out of their day today that I'd like to ask them if they'd like to offer some remarks.
Thank you so much. And really, Captain Benson, thank you for joining us here in Scituate today. We are graced by your presence, and we are incredibly grateful to you and to the Chief for everything that you do for our community. The Coast Guard, obviously I'm from Hull, and with the Joshua James and the Life Saving Museum, and really that history and all of the maritime culture that all of our communities from Hull all the way down to Plymouth share. Commercial fleets, all of our boating, recreational boating, and just little kids out in the water, right? Everybody in a rowboat. We are just grateful for your commitment to our community, to the deep partnership. I'm looking out into the audience and I see our police chief and our harbor masters, and we build our public safety around everything that the Coast Guard has taught us, everything that we rely on you, and we are grateful, absolutely grateful. Just as for both your larger public safety mission, but also for our particular communities and how deeply, you live in our communities, you are part of us. And so we're grateful to have you here. I also wanted to just say thank you for kicking off Boater Safety Week. This cannot be understated. We see it every day, we deal with it, and if you are forewarned and prepared, you have half a chance. I'm just going to go back to something that the chief said. Put the life jacket on. You cannot walk away from these accidents. Put the life jacket on. As the state legislature, we also are deeply concerned about these issues, and one of our colleagues, Kathy Lenatra, who was not able to be here today, has filed a bill to require everyone to take a course in boater safety, which we know, forewarned and prepared, you have a better chance of really going out there and enjoying. So I'm glad to, so thank you so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to be in the community in Scituate with you and with our selectmen, our select board members and the public. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Patrick Kearney, but I just wanted to say welcome and thank you for everything that you do for our community. We're very appreciative.
Good morning, everyone. As many before me have already said, but I'd like to say myself, Captain, thank you so much for being here. It really is a big deal that the CO of the port, the City of Boston, is taking time to be with us on a Saturday morning. I know you have a very busy schedule. There's a lot going on in that port, and we're very, very grateful that you took the time to come down and spend some time with us and really spend some time making people aware of the safety concerns and the safety hazards that are out on the water. I mean, many of us here in the community enjoy spending our time on the water with friends, with family, but it is really critical on a yearly basis to be talking about some of the basic things that we can do to keep people safe, but also to keep your personnel safe as well. So not only, as the rep said, wear a life jacket, but it is so critical to put your phone number on kayaks and paddleboards. Please do that. Please tell your friends and family to do that. And as an old naval officer once said to me, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So please have a plan when you go out. File a float plan with a loved one, with the Coast Guard, with the harbor master, with the police department, and encourage your friends to do the same, so that if there is an emergency, an actual emergency, that our safety personnel, the Coast Guard, the police, the harbor masters can focus their time and their effort on actually doing stuff to save folks, not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of hours on things that are not actually happening or a perceived threat, but one that was just an issue with somebody leaving a kayak on the beach. So thank you for all the work. I wanted to just note, the auxiliary is here with us today. They put in hundreds of hours of volunteer time to just brief folks on what they should have on their boat for safety equipment. So to all of you, we're grateful for all of the time and effort that you put in above and beyond what you have to make sure that everyone on the water is safe. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the work that you do, and hopefully have a great summer on the water.
No, no, okay, I'll pass. Thank you, representatives. Thank you very, very much for that. The last speaker this morning will be Matthews Mulvey, or Matt. Matt is the president. He's the president division commander of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary for Division 12 or the South Shore Division. That area responsibility extends from Boston Harbor along the South Shore to Kingston Bay. Division 12 is the managing authority for 3 flotillas located in Hull, Braintree, and Scituate. Mr. Mulvey joined the auxiliary in 2006 and is on his second tour as division commander. Mr. Mulvey, would you like to come up and provide some closing remarks?
Thank you, Craig. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt would say, be short, be sincere, be seated. 2 things I want to offer. 1, go to the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary's website and schedule a boating safety exam. Unless you want, if you can come down here and see somebody from the Coast Guard, they'll make arrangements with us to get out there. We will see you in the water. We will come to your driveway. We will go any place we need to go to do the vessel safety check. And a lot of good information can be given out that way. Also, we are always looking for volunteers. If you are 17 or older, come aboard. Lots for you to do. We have everything from vessel examinations to instructors to air patrols. So plenty to do. And thank you very much, everybody, for being here today. Thank you. The vessel check is free. And a lot of good information going out. And the other thing, too, even if you only have a kayak or canoe, those at home watching, go to that site, arrange for a vessel examiner to give you the decal to put on your kayak or canoe, and use an indelible marker so the numbers stay on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the town of Scituate for hosting another National Safe Boating Week kickoff. Thank you, everyone.